Hello, everyone, and happy Veterans Day, and a special greeting to our Trojan veterans and their families. I'd like to begin with some words from retired Army Major General Viet Luong. He once said to our military students, "You are about to embark on an incredible journey. The world you enter is tumultuous at best, and you must have the courage to face it head on." General Luong graduated from Dornsife on a full ROTC scholarship. His American military story began almost a decade earlier during the Vietnam War. He and his family fled Saigon as political refugees one day before the capital fell, and they barely escaped. It was then, aboard a U.S. air carrier, that he decided he would go on and serve his new country. And in 2014, he made history. He became the first Vietnamese-born American promoted to brigadier general. Each of our veterans and military students have followed a unique path to USC. More than 400 of our faculty and staff are veterans, as are thousands of Trojan alumni. 1,400 current students, undergrads and graduate students are veterans, are ROTC students. It is a legacy of service few great research universities can match. More than 4,500 officers from our ROTC programs have been commissioned into the armed forces. Across the entire country, only about 60 schools host ROTC programs, with the Navy, the Air Force, and the Army all on the same campus. And USC is so honored to be one of them. Last year, we were invited to join Space Force's University Partnership Program, the first school of its type in California. USC's commitment to the military and to its people before, after, and during their service goes back more than a century. During World War I, USC became a training school for Army officers. And today, we have degrees, scholarships, and research dedicated to our veterans and our military community. Everything from Marshall's Masters of Business for veterans to Viterbi's Institute for Creative Technologies, which is looking always at ways to use VR and AR to help our veterans. Recently, our School of Social Work shared a new regional study about veterans' needs after their service. And that was led by military and veterans programs and funded through a new RAND USC Epstein Family Foundation Center for Veterans Policy Research. USC also has student groups and programs and wonderful initiatives like the USCVA, our Veterans Association Under Student Life, our Veterans Resource Center, which welcomed more than 3,200 visitors last year, and JAMS, one of our newest student assemblies. I recently, this morning, toured our Veterans Resource Center. It is truly a place for connection and camaraderie, and that spirit does not end once you leave USC. Wherever your journey takes you, you're always, always a part of the Trojan family. As you may know, since Veteran Days falls on a Saturday this year, tomorrow is a non-instructional day on our campuses. I hope you'll use it as a time for reflection and gratitude to all our Trojan veterans, military-affiliated community members, and their families. We are so grateful to you. Please know how much we appreciate your service and how honored we are that you chose USC. Thank you, and let's continue to fight on together.
On a day that we honor our veterans and all currently serving in our military, we are reminded that our freedoms are not free. Hello, I'm Stacey Harris, Lieutenant General, United States Air Force retired, and a proud USC Viterbi alum, and one of the newest members of USC's Board of Trustees. As a military brat, I was born into the Air Force and grew up wanting to be just like my dad. I share he went to work every day wearing a light blue shirt and dark blue pants. And every 2 years, we moved around to what I thought was a new and exciting location around the globe. And it was through junior ROTC in high school that I learned more about responsibility and discipline and teamwork. And I learned that I did have that propensity to serve and wanted to be part of something greater than myself. And then it was here at Air Force ROTC Detachment 60 where I learned what it meant to be an airman. As an engineer by degree, a pilot by profession, and a 37-year Air Force veteran, my most fulfilling and grateful moments have been for the opportunity to serve alongside my fellow airmen, joint partners, and military allies worldwide. And throughout my career, I've remained closely tied to USC through Air Force ROTC Det 60, the Viterbi School of Engineering, the Black Alumni Association, and of course, returning home for homecomings and participating in numerous alumni events across the nation have kept me close to my Trojan family. As I embrace my journey as an airman for life, I am equally passionate about my unwavering loyalty as a Trojan for life. I beam with Trojan pride when I reflect on USC's enduring commitment to our military community, epitomized by Price School's remarkable century-long partnership with our armed forces, now extending to our newest branch, the Space Force. So whether you've taken the path of enrolling in our ROTC program, or as a military veteran and resilient Trojan student, harnessing the invaluable resources of the Veteran Center, or you are a veteran proudly serving within the ranks of our dedicated staff, esteemed faculty, or as a devoted employee, each of us plays an integral role in this shared legacy of support and excellence. Thank you for your service and sacrifices to our nation, and fight on.
Well, greetings, everyone. My name is James Hu, and I work here at the Norris Comprehensive Cancer Center. I served for 30 years in the Army in various capacities, both as a practicing physician and also a hospital commander. So I can just say unequivocally that I am incredibly proud and privileged to have served with such honorable and selfless soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen as you. So I consider you America's finest, and I am just, again, proud to have served with you all. So as for the question of what does legacy of service mean to me? That's a very difficult question, but I can say that the first time I encountered, or the first time I can remember encountering an episode or a behavior of service was when I first went into medical school. So I came from USC. I got into medical school at the Uniformed Services in Washington, D.C. And my first recollection of those in uniform was that they were just incredibly helpful and selfless in their service and their willingness to help out somebody who knew nothing about the military. So they helped me move, despite the fact that they had very limited time themselves. On a weekend, they just went in and helped me move and get my stuff out of storage and get it into my apartment. So that was the first episode of selfless service that I encountered. But as I reflect what selfless what service really means, I think it can come from various perspectives. First, as a citizen, I have a duty to be a good neighbor and help my community when those opportunities arise or when somebody else is in need. So that is what service means to a citizen. As a physician, I have an obligation to serve my patients, to ensure that they feel secure in their health care, but also to preserve their dignity and respect at all times. As a parent and husband, I have an obligation to serve and to ensure not only that my family's security is assured, but also through my behaviors, the teaching and the passing on the core values to our children, so that the legacy of service is passed on to their kids and to their friends and others in the community as well. And then finally, as a leader, making sure that those I'm leading are not only getting what they need to accomplish their jobs, but also clearing the way for their growth and development and inspiring them to pursue meaningful careers in service to others. A legacy of service takes many forms, and not just in the service to the Constitution, but also the service to the community. And a legacy of service to me, is just transferring that experience and those values into the community and into the activities that I do every day. So in closing, I just want to say Happy Veterans Day to everyone, especially to those 6 to 7% who have served, and you know who you are. And I just want to say that those that have sacrificed to preserve our way of life and to protect and defend our Constitution, I especially am proud of you and proud of serving with you during my 30 years. And also today, if I can serve you and help you in any way, it is a privilege to do so. So again, a big fight on to all of the veterans. Fight on.
Hello, Trojans. My name is Dylan Moore, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker with the Student Health Center Counseling and Mental Health. As a United States Marine Corps veteran, a USC graduate, and an advocate for this community, I am honored to celebrate Veterans Day with you. To me, legacy of service signifies that our journey and contributions extend well beyond military service. Each day here at USC, we have the power to impact countless lives and better society through our unique experiences and abilities. My time here at USC as a graduate student has many cherished memories, especially the times that I was able to work alongside other student veterans towards a collective goal. I continue in my current role with the university to see how student veterans are transforming their classrooms and becoming future experts and leaders in our community. I take great pride in witnessing the remarkable contributions our veterans make to the Trojan community. Together, we will continue to exemplify the values and skills instilled in us during our military service. Thank you, and fight on.
It's an honor to address a community with such a strong legacy of service. I'm deeply grateful for the opportunity to share my thoughts on what the legacy of service means to myself and the veteran community, with a special salute to my fellow Marines. The legacy of service to me reflects the values and principles that veterans carry with them long after their active service has ended. It's a commitment to duty, honor, and the greater good. To me, the legacy of service embodies courage, sacrifice, and resilience. As a Marine, I had the privilege of serving alongside some of the finest men and women our country has to offer. The Marine Corps instilled in me the values of honor, courage, and commitment. These are not just words, they are embodiment of the legacy that we carry with us. Service in the military is often about putting the needs of others before your own. It's about being part of something greater than yourself, a mission that transcends individual goals. Our legacy is one of selflessness. It's about those moments when you find strength to go on, not for your own sake, but for your brothers and sisters standing beside you. The veteran community represents an unbreakable bond. It's a network of individuals who have faced adversity together, learned together, and persevered together. Our shared experience creates a unique connection that extends beyond the uniform we once wore. The legacy of service also carries with it a sense of duty towards our community. We've been trained to adapt, to overcome, and to lead. We have an incredible opportunity to our society in meaningful ways. It's about making a positive impact, not during our service alone, but throughout our lives. However, we must also acknowledge the challenges that many veterans face as they transition into the civilian life. It can be a profound change, one that presents new battles to fight. But the legacy of service means that we don't give up, we don't back down. We face these challenges with the same determination that guided us in the service. It's the duty of the society to recognize the value of veterans and support their transition. It's about creating opportunities and offering a helping hand when needed. The legacy of service is not just the responsibility of veterans, it's a shared responsibility to our entire community. To conclude, the legacy of service is about embodying the core values we've been taught: honor, courage, and commitment, and living them every day. It's about giving back and making the world a better place. It's about recognizing the indomitable spirit that defines the veterans and supporting them as they continue to serve in their own unique way. I'm proud to be a Marine, and I'm proud to be part of the wider veteran community. Our legacy is of honor and our service is unending. Thank you for this opportunity to share my thoughts with the community. And to my fellow veterans, thank you for your unwavering service. Semper Fidelis.
Hi, my name is Angela D. Scott, and I'm a United States Navy veteran. I'm also a double Trojan. Fight on! I graduated in the class of 2022 of MBV, and now I'm a Rossier School of Education, Organizational Change, and Leadership doctoral student in Cohort 27. I believe that creating a legacy of service extends beyond time spent in the military. As a California Democratic Party Assembly District 51 delegate and member of the California Democratic Party Veterans Caucus, I carry the responsibility of voicing the concerns of my constituents and fostering diversity within this political landscape. So creating a legacy of service for veterans is multifaceted, and it involves ensuring that all of your unique skills, experiences, and values gained during the military service transfers into civilian life so that we can all benefit from your unique skill set and also from your rich lived experiences. What does creating a lasting legacy of service mean to you? For me, it means collaborating, community building, and most of all, everyone having a holistic obligation to ensuring a better world for each and every one of us. Fight on.
Hello, fellow veterans, my Trojan family, and distinguished guests. My name is Richard So, and I'm a proud U.S. Navy submarine veteran and the Assistant Director of the Joint Assembly for Military Affiliated Students, or JAMS. When I think of a legacy of service, I don't merely reference time served or missions accomplished, but I think of the spirit of dedication, sacrifices made, and the lessons we carry forward. As submariners, our service underwater taught us about resilience, teamwork, and the depth of the human spirit. My time here at USC as a student veteran studying finance and blockchain has allowed me to apply what the military has taught me. Along my college journey, I've made lifelong friends and wonderful memories, a journey that adds to my legacy of service because the military has helped me get to where I am today. I am truly grateful for my time in service, and I proudly share my experiences with my peers and anyone who is willing to listen. These experiences are not just tales of valor, but also lessons in humility, camaraderie, and unwavering commitment. I believe as veterans, the legacy we leave behind are not in medals or in accolades, but in the inspiration we provide to the generations that follow. The values that we have gained served as beacons for those seeking direction. When I talk about a legacy of service, I remind people that it transcends time and profession. It is a call to selflessness, to dedication, and to unity. I encourage everyone to find that spirit within and to contribute to building a legacy of your own. Thank you for your service, and fight on.
Hello, my name is Elle Barker. I am the JAMS Advocacy Liaison in USC's undergraduate student government, a junior studying aerospace engineering, a cadet in the Air Force ROTC program at Detachment 60, and the child of 2 Air Force veterans. I grew up in a household that valued competence, ambition, and integrity, with two parents that encouraged me to push my limits both in and outside of the classroom. For me, a legacy of service characterizes the place I stand in my family's history. I carry the mantle of dedication to my country forward, just like my parents did before me. Though the path I walk is not easy, the discipline required of me produces incredible rewards. While I develop my intellect in pursuit of a technical education, my interpersonal skills have flourished under the guidance of my peers and superiors. I am able to mentor students who are entering the program and watch them grow into commendable leaders and teammates. I challenge my physical limits within this close-knit community, striving to improve my fitness while we cheer each other forward. Training to become an officer has enriched my life, mind, body, and soul. I reflect on my time as a cadet in contrast to my childhood, observing the growth that took me from who I was to who I am. I am confident, competent, and ambitious, capable of adapting to overcome obstacles and better the experience of those around me. As I continue my family's legacy of service, I seek to contribute to that legacy within the Trojan family. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Jarek Galindez, and I'm currently serving as the president of the Veterans Association at USC. I'm studying human biology, but prior to that, I was a Navy corpsman for 7 years, most of which were spent either attached to 1st Marine Division or the Naval Expeditionary Medical Training Institute. First, I would like to go over what being a veteran at USC means to me. What I value most as a veteran is the extensive community of fellow veterans. Trojan veterans support each other through personal and professional matters. We navigate challenges together, and we celebrate victories together. At USC, the veterans are present for each other, and I highly doubt that will ever change. Next is the legacy of service. The foundation of our legacy was formed in the military, and here we are enriching it as students, alumni, staff, faculty, or administrator. The relationship is symbiotic. The veterans gain a world-class education as well as new career experiences, while the university gains future leaders and contributors to ensure its success. I would like to conclude by wishing everyone a very happy Veterans Day, and thank you all for your service.
As I reflect on what legacy of service means to me, two important things come to mind. First, my family's legacy of military service. I have numerous family members who served across all branches of the United States military, including a cousin who retired after more than 20 years as a colonel in the U.S. Army, and my bonus dad, who retired as a United States Navy Chief Petty Officer. So it only made sense that I, too, would serve. The second thing that comes to mind is that all of us can leave a legacy of service. We can be of service through civic engagement, through our involvement in sororities, fraternities, social organizations, and through our religious institutions. So, to all of my fellow military veterans, thank you for your service. And for those of you who haven't served in the military, thank you for your service as well. Not only today on Veterans Day, but on all the days ahead, I hope that we'll continue to create a legacy of service to and for all. Happy Veterans Day, and fight on.
Good afternoon, fellow Trojans. My name is Jim Zenner, and I'm the Director of LA County Department of Military Veteran Affairs and a proud graduate of the MSW program at USC, class of 2010. On Veterans Day today, 2023, I reflect on what a legacy of service means to me. Legacy of service for me, I'm just reminded of how it's a lot of the time military service and public service is a family tradition. We don't make decisions of what we're going to become and what we're going to do and do our entire lives in a vacuum or a bubble. Oftentimes we observe what our parents do and what their parents have done, and it becomes part of our legacy as well. And so thousands of veterans in LA County served during a time of war, signed up and served during a time of war and peace to defend our country because their family members did. Also, additionally, it's not just specific to military, but also public servants. We need teachers, law enforcement, firefighters to continue to keep us safe and educate our next generation. And often, a lot of them, it's also a family business for them. Their parents or grandparents also were public servants, and that's what drew them to what they do. And so today on Veterans Day 2023, as we celebrate veterans and what we've accomplished, let's also reflect on why we're here and our legacy. Fight on.
Good afternoon, Trojans. Thank you for joining us both virtually and in person at the University of Southern California to honor and celebrate this Veterans Day. As a veteran and the Center Supervisor for the Veterans Resource Center, I am deeply proud to be part of an incredible community that values and supports our military members. On this special day, we do remember and pay tribute to the brave individuals who selflessly served our nation. USC stands as a beacon of gratitude and respect for our veterans, offering support and a warm embrace for those who have worn the uniform. I want to give a special shout out to the vets and the cadets who lead the Joint Assembly for Military Associated Students and the Veterans Association at USC. You are some of the greatest leaders on this campus, and I'm excited for the future of both JAMS and USCVA. I also want to thank Dr. Monique Allard, the Vice President of Student Life and the Student Equity and Inclusion Programs, for their continued support of the Veterans Resource Center and our student community. So let's take a moment to express our heartfelt appreciation for the sacrifices made by our veterans and to ensure that their service and dedication will never be forgotten. Be sure to thank a veteran today. Thank you for joining us in this celebration of honor and remembrance. Happy Veterans Day, and fight on.